Prince Harry's autobiography, Spare, was one of the most hotly anticipated books of the year, breaking the Guinness World Record. When it became the biggest-selling non-fiction book of all time, Spare was packed full of stories about the Duke of Sussex life growing up as a royal. From arguments with his brother, William, to his time as a teenager, Harry wasn't afraid of delving into the most private and personal times of his life. He also discussed his time serving in the military, including his time on the front line of Afghanistan, where he revealed he had killed 25 while on his second tour of the country. Harry admitted he didn't think of those he killed as people but as chess pieces that were taken off the board. He wrote it wasn't possible to kill someone if you see them as a person, but explains the army had trained me to other them and they had trained me well. Harry wrote in Spare, I made it my purpose, from day one, to never go to bed with any doubt whether I had done the right thing, whether I had shot a Taliban and only Taliban, without civilians in the vicinity. I wanted to return to Great Britain with all my limbs, but more than that, I wanted to get home with my conscience intact. The young royal's training before serving in Afghanistan is covered in detail in the book, with the grueling missions described in harrowing detail. One recollection caused a row between the Duke and his ghostwriter, J.R. Moringa, and was almost changed before it made it into print in Sapper. Harry was taking part in a grueling training exercise in rural England, where he is captured by pretend terrorists, explains Moringa in an interview with New Yorker. The Duke was captured before having a hood rammed over his head and taken to an underground bunker, where the torture began. He was beaten, left freezing and without food and stripped naked, all to find out if the royal was strong enough to survive being captured on a real-life battlefield. The final horror was when Harry was thrown against a wall and had insults screamed into his face, including one about his mother, Princess Diana. In his autobiography, Harry was determined to include his retort to his captors, but ghostwriter Moringa had other ideas. He said, ending with what he said would dilute the scene's meaning, that even at the most bizarre and peripheral moments of his life, his central tragedy intrudes. For months, it'd been crossing out the comeback, and for months Harry had been pleading for it to go back in. The Duke was far from happy about the line being cut, despite the writer urging him to trust the book, and Moringa admits Harry was glaring into the camera. While the pair had had disagreements in the past about what should and shouldn't be included in Spare, the ghostwriter confesses this row felt different. Moringa said, I was thinking, this is so weird. I'm shouting at Prince Harry. It felt as if we were hurtling toward some kind of decisive rupture, in part because Harry was no longer saying anything. But Harry had a powerful reason for demanding his comeback be included in Spare. Moringa said, Harry, calmly explained that, all his life, people had belittled his intellectual capabilities, and this flash of cleverness proved that, even after being kicked and punched and deprived of sleep and food, he had his wits about him. The passage made it into the final cut for Spare.